based on what Logan was setting us up for during our preview of all the offensive positions, and based on what I already knew through the transfer portal, I'm not going to get to see the access that, of course, Logan and the rest of the FSU media is. But when we get to the spring game, based on what we're going to hear out of Logan every week, and then also seeing the spring game, I'm excited about this wide receiver competition. I think that's going to be first rate.
Who's wide receiver one, Jason, to you heading into the spring with some of these transfers? Or after spring, really? What do you think after spring, I should say?
I probably think it's going to be Pittman. I think Pittman's going to come in and get the most pub because of the name and because of all that went into getting him. And I think he's going to come in the most. But I want to see, like we talked about earlier, I want to see a kid from Arizona State. I want to see these guys come in here. I just want to see us to actually have a bona fide wide receiver room. I think there's plenty of guys to compete. But we've said the same thing last year, and Mark talked about it 2 weeks ago. Andrew Parchman was a guy who came in last year, was supposed to be build up the room, and he didn't. But probably I would say after spring, I'd say Michael Pittman.
Michael Pittman, okay. Yeah, I'm interested to see because you also got Winston Wright coming in, who's going to definitely compete for a starting job. But then you've also got veterans still on the team, Malik McLean. You've got Ontario Wilson, you've got Keyshawn Helton. You got Portier, you got Jordan Young. So you've got some veterans too competing with some transfers that aren't intending on coming here and then being like, oh, well, so I just transferred from across the country. I'm not going to play. It's going to be very competitive, which is going to be the fun part about this spring.
My question to you would be, on the flip side of that, two guys, the names you mentioned, Ontario Wilson, Keyshawn Helton. These are two guys who have been a part of the program now for a few years, have had their chance to, I guess, kind of be the bona fide number one. Do you think both of them are not the bona fide runaway number one because of their performance, or do you think they still have to deal with Mark's favorite discussion, the lack of talent at quarterback? By the way, those words are Mark Rogers, the voice of college football. Those words do not necessarily represent myself, Jason Parker, or
wow, jeez, unbelievable.
Just kidding. Mark loves Jordan Travis. He loves him. He respects Jordan Travis.
Absolutely, I do.
He hasn't gone full man crush on him, but he respects his game.
Man crush.
He hasn't. But legitimately, do you think that both of them have not lived up to expectations, or do you think it has to do with the fact of the quarterback room?
I think it's more of, you can also add in Parchman in there. He's not here with us anymore, but guys that kind of let down the offense last season. I think it was a mix. I thought Jordan as a passer developed. He stayed in the pocket more and he was passing, but then, these transfers coming in, I just don't think, obviously you bring in that many transfers at wide receiver, you're not pleased at what you already have. And so that's more probably where I'm swaying. That is like, hey, these guys right now are competing to take your spot. Either you got to level your game up or you're going to be passed. And so I think there's going to be some transfers, most certainly, depending on who these guys are. I can kind of tell a little bit just off of demeanor from Tour of Duty of like, damn, wow, that quick, huh? Like I could just kind of get a feeling for some of these guys on who's in, who's out. And I just don't think Norvell was too pleased with last year's wide receiver room. And you got to hope too, Jordan Travis continues to connect. He's got a lot of work still to do, more of, his deep reads and really deep ball connecting there. But also there was flops last year with guys dropping balls for no reason or guys being way off of the playbook and the play call. And, just kind of, I don't know, just wasn't pretty. So, but yeah, I just don't think he was at all happy with the group last year.